It's that time! It is that time, guys. We've been waiting for this for so long. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, anyways, I'm Am Smasher. We're back in with Pokemon. When we last left off, the last 2 episodes, took on the Pastoria Gym, defeated Crasher Wake, and then we explored the city, defeated Barry, and then chased down after the Galactic Goon, and then got the secret medicine from Cynthia and cured the Psyducks from Route 210, which we'll go to that later. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead here, because you know what it's time for. That's right. The Great Marsh time. We'll go up here. Tell me I'm not imagining this. The Great Marsh's Pokemon seem to be different from the ones yesterday. I don't think you're crazy at all. There are shuttle trains in the marsh called quick trams. You should take those if you're going to a deeper area in the marsh. Use a pair of binoculars to look out over the Great Marsh. You can see what kinds of Pokemon can be caught and where they are. When you're walking on the bog, you sometimes sink right in. I get so flustered trying to get out. I have no luck catching anything. Let's see what Pokemon we'll be finding. B-Barrel. Meryl. A Bidoof. A Quagsire. Already caught ya. Oh boy. Welcome to the Great Marsh, the home of Pastoria's Safari game. All you can catch for 500. Would you like to play a Safari game? I'll let you know when the game's over. Until then, enjoy yourself. Please, off you go with the wild excursion. I'll bet this has steps. Alright. Okay, am I able to get anything out of this? Also worthwhile to explore some items. While we're here! Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to this. We have 13 new Pokemon we can find. 13! I hope we're ready for this. Oh boy. Deep breaths. Alright. First two, at least most of these are evolved from one another, so they're in the same evolutionary line. First up is Wooper, and the Pokemon we see here, its evolved form of Quagsire. These are water ground types, meaning they have just one weakness. Grass. So yeah, despite the stats not being so iffy, or being so iffy I should say, 210 for Wooper and 430 for Quagsire, these two Pokemon can actually be worth your time. And with a decent combination of, well, not as much for leveling up, but they do know Earthquake by leveling up too. So if you want to have a good Wooper or Quagsire, I would say you'd be better off investing some TMs into these things. And if you want to, and for the abilities, Water Absorb would be the best ability to have, because damn, not really much of a thing, and Underwear's okay, I guess. Although it's more of a situational ability. So if you're looking for some very good water types, Wooper and Quagsire are here if you want them. Next up is Azumarill and its evolution of Azumarill. No, excuse me, Meryl, I should be saying. Yeah, I know what I said. Not really. Anyways. Azumarill and Azumarill. These are part fairy types. As of at least Gen 6, that is. Now, Azuro, surprisingly enough, starts off as a pure normal type. And becomes a part water type when it becomes a Marill. To evolve Azuro, you need to give it some tough love, and get this. The gender ratio is 1 to 3 male to female, 1 to 3, I think it is? Or 3 to 4, I should say. 25% chance of it being a male. But for Marills, it's a 50% chance of being a male. Don't know why that is, but I tend not to question it. If you want to use one for your team, Huge Power might be the best ability to go with since its attack stat is doubled. Thick Fat's an okay ability, but then again, when it's a Marill, it's already resistant to fire anyways. But if you can get this thing with Sap Sipper for the ability, you're going for a more defensive approach. Its attack gets raised by 1 stage when it's hit by a grass-type move, plus it's immune to all grass-type moves, so what's not to like about this? Well, its stats aren't really that good, though. Base stat 250, and then when it's a Azumarill, let me check its stats. It's at 420, which is okay with that huge power. Could make it worthwhile, but you probably find some better water or fairy types out there. But it does seem to know some decent moves. I think you might have to invest some TMs with this thing. But yeah, there's better water and fairy types out there, but these are okay if you want to use one for your team. Next up, only in the nighttime here, Noctowl, the evolved form of Hoothoot. Not really much needs to be said about it since I've already talked about Hoothoot in the past. It's more on the special side of things, so it makes it a very interesting normal flying type. It does know moves like Hypnosis, Dream Eater, and even knows Moonblast and Extra Sensory. So if you want a very interesting normal flying type, look no further than Noctowl. I used one back in the old days. It's a decent Pokemon. Not bad, not great either. I would say Kenai would probably be the best ability to have out of the three, since not only can its accuracy not be lowered, it ignores the evasion boosts of the opponent, so like I said, what is not to love about this thing? Well, I'd say the only real gripe I have to look out for is its attack stats are its physical stats, attack and defense are sort of lackluster, but if you can get by that with this thing being a decent, especially offensive and defensive Pokemon, you could use this on your team. Although, like I said, you should have caught a Hoothoot way back earlier in the game. So there's that. Next up, through the use of the Good Rod, Gyarados. Remember when this thing was a Magikarp and you would laugh at it with that being how weak it was? Well, guess what? You're probably gonna regret that, because this thing is one of the best water types in the game. So if you had no patience with trying to raise a Magikarp and wanting to go for a Gyarados, right here might be right here, you could try and pick it up here, but here's a word of warning. Given that you're not able to weaken this thing through normal methods in the Great Marsh, yeah. Catch rate of 45. You might be having a tough time with this Pokemon. If you're somehow able to throw mud at it and it doesn't run, you're able to catch this thing here and now. Congratulations! You have yourself one of the best water types in the game. And it does have some good moves at its disposal. It does know Hurricane and even Aqua Tail. And given the fact that you could invest TMs into this as well. Now, the only real issue I have with it is its special attack. But with the great physical attacks out of 125, and you invest in physical attacks more than special attacks, this thing will tear the competition apart. Just be mindful you don't put this thing against an electric type, because, let's just say this thing might not get another turn. But if you can get by all of that, this is a great Pokemon for any team. Anyway, 7 more Pokemon. Whoopee! Another good water type you could go for if you're not in the mood to get a Gyarados. Golduck, the evolved form of Psyduck. Not much needs to be said about it since I've already talked about Psyduck earlier. It's a balanced water type, little leaning more towards special attack. And if you want one, if you can somehow get Swift Swim for its ability, in the rain, this thing is quick as well. If you can get this thing with its ability, given that special attack is like 95, yeah, you could be doing some decent damage with this thing. Given that this knows a lot of good moves, let's say Zen Headbutt, and through TMs, it knows Psychic and Ice Beam. This thing is a pretty versatile Pokemon. Like I said, if you were wanting one for your team, you should have already had a Psyduck all the way back at the Orber Gate after you've defeated Rourke. So there's that, but if you want to pick up a Golduck right here and now, you could. It's got a catch rate of 75, so it's a decent challenge in this area if you want to catch one. But if you can catch one here and now and didn't get a Golduck, you got yourself, or you didn't get a Psyduck earlier, you got yourself a pretty good water-type Pokemon right here. Next up, Roselia, the evolved form of Badoo. Like I mentioned before with Badoo, if you were going to evolve it from a Badoo, you would have had to evolve with a happiness value at 220 during the day. But if you were wanting to use a Roselia on your team, you should have already had a Badoo way long ago. And I mean at the very beginning of the game is where I'm going at. If you want to use one, all 3 abilities are very good for this thing. Natural Cure, status conditions healed when withdrawn from battle, Poison Point, 30% of inducing poison when a Pokemon uses a physical contact attack against this thing, and Leaf Guard is a very good one. It prevents the Pokemon from being afflicted with status conditions during the strong sunlight. Now, to evolve this thing into a Roserade, you need to have a Shiny Stone to evolve it. But if you're one to evolve it, I probably would wait until you have all the moves that you wanted to know through leveling up before doing that. But anyways, if you were looking for a good grass type, Roselia is here if you wanna use one for your team. But like I said, you should have already had a Badoo way long ago. Okay, 5 Pokemon left. Now these next 5 are exclusive to the binoculars, and they change each day. So, next up, Scarpy and its evolved form of Drapion. These are part poison types, Scorpy being a part bug type, which becomes a part dark type when it becomes a Drapion. Now, these things can be really good when used correctly. These are more on the defensive side. to be clear on this, if you're looking for abilities, all three are pretty good though. Battle armor, opponent's moves can't critical hit at all. If you want to go for some more power, go with sniper, because critical hits moves are increased to 225% normal damage rather than 150. So basically 1.5 times the damage for a critical hit. And Keen Eye, I've already mentioned before, with, I think, Noctowl. Now, as a Scorpy, it starts off pretty iffy. However, once you get this thing into a Drapion, oh boy, this is when it becomes terrifying. Because this thing, if you can use a Heart Scale, knows all the Elemental Fang moves. So yeah, and then this thing, I think knows, yeah, it accessory Poison Fang as well. Although, some of the later moves would be more worthwhile, like Cross Poison and Crunch. Yeah, I think Scorpio also knows Cross Poison through leveling up as well. So if you're looking for some good Pokemon here and now, they're right here. Although you can also find these two Pokemon in the Grand Underground like I did earlier on in this Let's Play. But yeah, if you decide not to go to the Underground, you can pick them up here and now, but good luck trying to capture these guys, especially Drapion with the catch rate of 45 and given you can't weaken the Pokemon under normal conditions. Who we got up next? Yeah, these two. Croagunk and its evolved form of Toxicroak. These are poison fighting types, so very interesting typing to say the least. What's real good about these are they are pretty good physically offensive Pokemon. And that might be where the positives in. They do know some good moves, like it just lost my train of thought because I have been talking a lot for a while. These things do know Revenge, so if it's slower, that Revenge is going to be very painful. And Sludge Bomb's another good move, and so is Poison Jab, which is kind of a staple move for these two Pokemon, even though most other Pokemon know the move. But that's pretty much where all the positives end. Alongside, it can know some decent moves through TMs. What's to look out for? They're kind of lackluster in their defenses. And let me tell you this thing has, it may only have like 3 weaknesses, but let me just say this right now. Poison Touch is going to be the best ability to have, and that's if you can get one when it's an ability. Anticipation warns the foe of a one-hit KO or super effective move. Those are pretty good for like situational moves if you want to switch it out, and Dry Skin is more situational as well. Plus, one good Psychic attack on this thing, which it has a double weakness to, and I don't think it's going to get another chance, so if you want to use a Croagunk or a Toxicroak on my team, by all means, just be mindful, don't put this up against Psychic types. Oh, finally! One Pokemon left! And what is that Pokemon? I've been wanting to talk about this for a very, very, very long time. Carnivine! Like I said, what this thing has, if nobody's gonna ask this question, I'm gonna ask it right here, right now. Are you guys ready for it? Here it is. For the love of Arceus, why does this thing have Levitate for the ability? There! I said it! And I'm being serious. It's already resistant to ground-type attacks. This thing's a waste of an ability, although, yes, I know it takes no damage from spikes or can't be trapped by Arena Trap. But still, it's a waste of an ability for this thing. Now, if you want my honest opinion, Chlorophyll would have been a much better ability for this thing. And yes, I mean that. Because it would have doubled its speed, 46 speed in the rain, would have, in the strong sunlight, would have made it a speed of 92, would have complemented its physical attack stat of 100 very, very well. Like, I'm being serious. Why? Although it does know some decent moves like Power Whip and Seed Bomb and Crunch, but that's where the positives end. I know this thing is a decent special attacker as well, but this thing's a weird Pokemon, like, with Levitate? Why? But, as what my friend the D-Rock900 would say, just gotta stop questioning Game Freak's logic. So, if you want a Carnivine for your team, by all means, but just know, this thing could have had a much better ability than Levitate. Ugh. 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 I don't think I got all the items in there, I don't know. But, I think my voice is out. I've talked about all the Pokemon in there. And you know what? I'm ending it off right here. So anyways, next time we go through this, however many episodes it takes for us to go through this, we're going to explore through Route 212, take a look at the Pokemon Mansion and the Trophy Garden, make our way back to Hearthome, and yeah, we'll just carry on from there. Right now, thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, why not hit the subscription button today on my YouTube? And why don't you also, if you enjoy the content, hit the like button, share with your friends on social media. And follow me on Twitch as well. I'm out of voice. Till then, I'm out of Stasher 93. And I'll see you guys next time. Ish. I can't speak anymore.